5 just got started, as we have on the top left-hand side of the Port Alexander. The Red Protoss player who's been looking absolutely amazing lately, honestly. This is PartinG. And has been looking so good. Masters Coliseum run 3-4 against Sue in the finals after going 3-0 against TY in the semis, 3-2 against Dia in the round of 8. PartinG definitely back in meaning business as he starts in the top left-hand side of the map. Bottom right-hand side, the blue Terran player is Team Liquid's TaeJa. TaeJa obviously coming back to the game a little bit more recently than when PartinG came back to the game. PartinG came back about a few months more ahead of TaeJa. TaeJa just really returning for Home Story Cup a couple months ago now, so yeah, setting up into this game number 1. Look to see what will happen here as we get things going. Cyber Export going to start up from PartinG and getting that underway. As you do see, this SCV is going to be coming across towards the upper left-hand side of the map, so TaeJa not going to take any risks here in the start of the TvP. Wants to see what's going on in what is this, again, best of 5 series. Winner of this will advance to day 2 of this qualifier tomorrow. So SCV coming in towards the top left-hand side. We're absolutely treated with an amazing game to start off the day, though. That TaeJa Scarlet matchup was truly fantastic. Everything you wanted in a series. A couple different styles, a couple different ways the games went, different openings, aggression, players surviving attacks, players dealing good harassment. It was awesome. Dominant games from both players in the end as well, like a full 3-game series. Honestly, I want to watch a TaeJa versus Scarlet like best of 9 or something right now. Laughing Games, where are you at? Make that Games Invitational number 77 or something, whatever number you're on right now. Because that is, that'd be a hell of a matchup, TaeJa Scarlet. Best of 9. Like, the best of 3 was sick enough, right? Adept is going to come in and chase down that Reaper. As the Reaper turns away and ends up coming over to the left-hand side a little bit. Adept here pressing forwards, and we are going to be seeing the Marina TaeJa is going to end up pulling up this ramp. So Marine gets up the ramp here and into safety as the Adept shades through into the main base. So Adept all the way through into the main. SCV is going to end up on the right-hand side as well. And we are just going to be seeing a couple of SCV is taking some hits already. And as the Adept doesn't actually get any kills, though. Nice micro from TaeJa. The Reaper shows up. He's like, wait, where'd that Adept go? Down on the low ground, and actually this might be the first SCV lost in the game, means he will not be able to run that anywhere good enough to save it. Depot doesn't actually raise. He kind of wants the Adept to come in so he could kill it with the Cyclone, and they actually will commit in. Ooh, PartinG, bit of a mistake there, and will not even get the single Marines. So nice kill on the Cyclone. He should be fairly happy with that, as now the Cyclone and the Reaper will be pushing out onto the map, moving in towards the upper left-hand side. A Stalker of PartinG already backing away pretty swiftly here. And again, the TaeJa units coming through the center of the map as well to see what else is going on. A couple of gateways from PartinG dropping down in the main as you see the Hallucination coming forward, so looking to try and scout out a little bit at the moment. PartinG trying to pick up a little bit of early information. Well, Warp Gate finishes up, and obviously you can keep on warping in, especially with this Prism coming up. PartinG will look for a bit of aggression with those gateway units, so getting set up for that in the next couple of moments. As we do see the Oracle flying in, and we'll get locked onto and picked off by that Cyclone. Bunker drops down at the front as the siege tank gets started. I mean, a very safe setup from TaeJa here, really. With the bunker and the tank, he should be kind of okay. Biggest threat will be the Prism up onto the main base, perhaps. As, ooh, those Cyclones were seen by something, and they actually take a little while to respond and pull backwards. In fact, he'll lose both of those. Cyclones drop down. Well, this is actually really scary now, because the first tank, sure, the front is safe, but I really feel like this position here, there is nothing to really defend. Scans gets the Observer. Again, now you know as TaeJa that there's a Robo up, right? So, well, he needs to defend this main base. If this tank pops out and sieges up over here, which I think he's going to do, is he actually targets the Prism initially with those Marines. Loses that target fire, though, then. As we're going to be seeing the tanks coming in. SCV's pulled too. He should be okay, actually, TaeJa. Those SCVs helping a little bit. Didn't even lose that much in the end. Good defense. Only one Marine now left in the bunker, though, and the tank coming up from the low ground. Probably needs to send that back down to the low ground now. Just siege up behind the bunker again. Just be that extra layer of defense. Now PartinG obviously realizing he's not going to win the game with this push, so he drops down his tech choices. RoboBay and the Twilight Council getting started up here. Again, the Observer just scouting around in the main base as we see the couple of mules. They're going to get back to mining onto that natural. So they are mining away on this natural expansion. As the RoboBay again coming into play. The Forge still sat over to the side. So this full tech setup continuing to come through at the moment as we'll see a couple of engineering bays from TaeJa dropping down in the back of this natural. Depth's picking away at again, just a few of these SCVs. Cyclone locking onto that Prism is getting quite a lot done. Prism is going to be forced all the way into the corner there. Obviously it's a lot of dead airspace though, so Prism will stay alive, even saving this Adept as it comes back in. That's 6 SCVs lost here as TaeJa will go into towards the stim pack, but kind of already feels that as PartinG goes in towards the +1 attack, the Colossus and the Blink, it feels like PartinG's already in that stage where his setup is looking pretty good. He's probably feeling pretty good about this at the moment. And yeah, just looking in general, I just feel like PartinG's the one that's brought everything to TaeJa so far. Although PartinG's actually only on 54 to 51 workers, so maybe not as far ahead on SCV or on probes as he would like to be. But he's definitely cleaned up a bit of army as well. Now these Stalkers, well, they have some good map presence to maybe stop this third base from dropping down. I mean, tanks trying to come over here, but these Marines without Blink, without Sim or anything, are really in some trouble. Really reliant on these tanks to be able to defend this position. Even then, he has to leapfrog those tanks forward, so it's taking a little while. And well, this Orbital is taking a beating, man. And the tanks finally now will be in range to actually protect this. And he will be able to hold on as the Prism still looking for openings. And actually will drop in this Adept back into the natural. Man, TaeJa is taking so much damage. As the Cyclone will lock on, but that's going to be another SCV killed. Just keeps adding up, doesn't it? Just keeps adding up. At least TaeJa has the 1-1 upgrades, the Stim and the Combat Shields on the way. With those, he should be able to take a lot more presence on the map now in PartinG. And again, I mean, I think he's happy with what he sees. TaeJa is just scanning the natural expansion. That scan is important because it sees the Colossus, so he'll know now the Colossus are up, and he gets into a point where he has a couple of different options. He can either choose to go for some form of an SCV pull to try and kill the Colossus when there's 2 or 3 of them, and just kind of overrun. Or if he tries to macro this out, he will probably have, he'll have to start going into Vikings very shortly. Sometimes we see players skipping Vikings and just going in towards the Liberators. I feel like the Vikings are still a much sturdier way to deal with Colossus, because they will just straight up take those Colossus down, and they'll be able to take them down, whereas the Liberators kind of just zone the Colossus away from fighting, and it kind of just delays the inevitable, because at some point, the Protoss player tends to find a fight anyways, at which point you need a ton of Liberators to be successful, so I think the Vikings are a bit more reliable. With the tanks coming up, you can somewhat rely on siege tanks and target fire to take down Colossus. TaeJa will start 2-2 upgrades, so not looking towards any sort of SCV pull here, +1 vehicle weapons as well. So he's definitely looking to rely on the tanks with that +1 vehicle weapons. TaeJa out of position though as PartinG pressing forwards. Finds himself a missile turret. I mean, there's only a couple Colossus here, but still, a couple Colossus right now. Pretty great, because TaeJa doesn't have that much. Pulls a few SCVs in towards this. The force fields are good, and TaeJa will end up just backing away. Replacing that siege tank here. A ton of Zealots from PartinG. I mean, his charge finishes up. And again, I feel like the early game of PartinG is going to start coming together for him now, and going to start really showing us a bit of a powerful follow-up with this. And we're going to be seeing those Colossus, Zealots, Stalkers hanging around in the center of the map. Scan down here. As TaeJa pressing forwards. Again, those few units of PartinG just being a little bit careful at the moment. Just thinking about where they want to try and engage in from. And here we go. Going to start pressing in. Here we go. The Bio will stim. As we see the Zealots charging forwards, the tank gets cleaned out pretty quickly. Ah, man, this is way too many units here from PartinG, and TaeJa has absolutely no way to deal with this. Again, I feel like the Zealots were just going to be way too much of a wall off, and the Colossus. The channel gets some hearts and hype in here. Thank you so much, as we have got game number 2 starting up. To the top left-hand side, our red Protoss up 1 game. This is PartinG. On red side, our blue Terran give it up for Team Liquid's TaeJa. I was talking earlier about the Chinese Pro League that's being formed. PartinG looking to be a part of that, joining the team P1. There's a team that's going to be competing in that Chinese Pro League as well, so worth looking out for, I think, and keeping an eye on. So you see that gateway coming in on the side then, as we do see the prober PartinG going to be moving forwards here. And is looking to, or has already been looking across the map for some info. Didn't go across fully, just checked for the proxy locations, making sure TaeJa's not up to anything suspicious. And again, doesn't actually want to go all the way across the map. Instead, just comes straight back over to his base. And will expand, and so will TaeJa now. PartinG's expansion is a little bit later than usual. It is going to be a cybercore before that expansion. And so with the cybercore before the expansion here, what it allows you to do is it really puts you in this position now as PartinG, where you do have the faster tech choice available to you. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of moments. It's going to Chronobus out the Stalker and start Warp Gate at the moment, so no choice of tech at the moment actually. And the Nexus coming down on the natural expansion. That's just over halfway done. The Reaper coming up as well, and just going to be seeing the Reaper hopping up as the Stalker able to poke away a couple of times. And Kairos, as a sentry, gets chrono boosted out as well. Kairos is always this map where those rocks create some interesting positions. Siege ups on this low ground to push up in towards the natural are very powerful as well if the Terran wants to go for an aggressive tank-based push. We haven't seen a lot of those aggressive tank pushes lately. A lot of kind of bunkering up as well on the Protoss side of the map, as we are going to be seeing the Twilight Council dropping down. It's about halfway done here, so Twilight about halfway done at the moment, as the Reaper still just hanging around up at the top. And so what PartinG does with the Twilight, fast blink definitely a possibility as the Reaper will hop up. Tell you what, feels a bit of a shame to drop the Twilight on that pylon, considering it is the pylon that will instantly reveal what this is. Even if the Reaper can only get this far into the base, so bit of a shame as we do see that blink being chrono boosted away. So Fresh R97, thank you so much for the 25 bits, appreciate it. As PartinG's hallucination moves into the main base, and well, sees double racks, impact start, and there's a cyclone on the way as well from TaeJa, and just going into those early Marines, setting up from there. Robotics facility coming in on the main base as well from PartinG, so I mean a very typical next tech structure to choose after the Twilight. I mean the Robo just has so much utility on it. The Observers, the Warp Prism. You can't really play a mid-game PvT without a Robo. You're just missing way too much, really. You're just missing way too much to be able to do that. Probe will come in and drops down a pylon down the bottom side of Sentry, nibbling away at the Reaper, which is going to get taken down. So Reaper will fall. Another Stalker just warping in here as well. So a couple more Stalkers getting set to go. And again, that blink still coming up, going to be completing shortly. And PartinG with that blink will feel good to take some positions on the map. So across the map he goes. Those first few Stalkers looking to set up now. Gonna pick off one Marine already and continue to press through. Second Marine gets taken down. Doing a pretty good job at this at the moment, and going to be seeing the Cyclone lock on. Forcing those couple of Stalkers back here. Doing a very good job of this actually at the moment, as we're going to be seeing the army of TaeJa, I feel, is doing a very good job chasing forward, but PartinG's micro is absolutely insane here. And obviously with Blink coming in, TaeJa runs back to the bunker, loses all but a Marauder and 2 Marines. Man. Again, I kind of liked it for TaeJa. Like, it felt like, oh my, he's targeting units down, he's doing well. And you look at what was lost. He lost 11 Marines, a Cyclone, and an SCV to a Stalker. PartinG's micro absolutely insane here to get going, as we are going to be seeing these Stalkers of PartinG now coming all the way down to the bottom side of the map, ready to blink up into the main base of the bio. It's just going to be not enough, and that's GG. PartinG will take game 2 in 6 minutes. Ready if you're a TaeJa fan. This is the bottom left-hand side. This is our red Protoss player. It is PartinG. Top right, our blue Terran from Team Liquid, TaeJa. Well, this time he does throw down a barracks in the center of the map. Interestingly enough, PartinG sends 2 probes out to try and see what's going on. He scouts around with this probe, doesn't find the proxy yet though. It's a well-placed proxy by TaeJa, I like it. It's not a very common location to check, I feel, for PartinG, so that looks like it's placed well. And we see the Cybercore on the way up from PartinG, so gets that going as the probe going to be pulling away a little bit here. Again, after this, we might not even have any more matches, guys. Like, kind of depends what we can maybe jump into midway through, because all the other matches will have started. We actually already have some qualified players alive. 3-0 over True, Hurricane 3-0 over Hero, and Ragnarok 3-2 over Lenok. Those guys have already advanced through to the round of, to the next, to kind of stage 2 of the qualifier. Bunker on the low ground here. And PartinG will have a Zealot out, and it will move across the map. Factory on the way up here though, so at least there's something at home. As the Reaper hops up from TaeJa. Just looking at the rest of the bracket, I know that Fantasy and Impact is currently 2-0 for Fantasy. In general, the bracket's starting to look pretty interesting, pretty cool in general. It's feeling good as we do see this Reaper is able to just get that probe, so probe going down. You see the Zealot and the Stalker. Oh my god, that probe! Sorry, that Reaper is not going to get out. 2 probes killed. Another Reaper about to pop up. And of course with the factory at home, PartinG saw that as well. As we actually see the SCV just going to hide in the bunker. No, hide SCV. We'll get the salvage. PartinG knows the factory's at home, so he knows there's not too much further pressure coming in. The next Reaper comes out and is already in the main base. Gets another probe and will immediately get out of there. So really prioritizing staying alive here a lot of the time. As it does end up through the bottom side in towards the middle. And that rack's coming back up towards the top right-hand side. Natural command center from TaeJa begins to build up in the main base, so gets that started. Stalker of PartinG just patrolling away in the front of the natural here. So just patrolling away there. This rack's going to be pulling back. Starport again is building on up factory. Well, the Cyclone's about to complete. Again, there's the Oracle on the way out from PartinG as well. So again, that Oracle coming through. The first Oracle already down on the bottom side of the map. Command center about to finish up here from TaeJa. Once again, the Starport going to lift off, and well, it doesn't really have anywhere too exciting to go. The factory will probably swap away from this tech lab. So factory will lift up, swap away. Starport lands on the tech lab, and we're going to be seeing the Banshee and the Cloak getting started up by TaeJa. As you see, the racks with the reactor about to finish as well. Phoenix gets started from PartinG, so going to not just have the Oracle, but the Phoenix too. As TaeJa's option to go kind of fakes the Cloak and goes Raven instead. So getting that Cloak with the Raven. Obviously you can't cloak up Ravens though, but probably will either cancel this, just a mind game, or might actually go into a Banshee afterwards. Still yet to be seen. Tech Lab coming up too. I mean, this is Blue Shift. It's a very short map, and it's got no ramp up into the natural either. So it is a fairly good map for just pushing straight across and, you know, dealing some damage if you want to go for a very aggressive push. Revelation comes down, and that Cloak in the end was cancelled here. So in the end, I mean, no real kind of, you know, nothing really fooled basically. PartinG sees everything with that Revelation, so you can even see if Cloak does get started at a later point. As you see the next rack starting. Starport moves away from the tech lab, goes to a reactor of its own. First siege tank about to finish up. I mean, with a couple of cyclones early, it becomes difficult to actually justify a push across the map with siege tanks, etc. So, oh my god, that rack's, well, that tank, sorry, was blocked in. And TaeJa will cancel and restart Stim just so you get that going. That was, yeah, a little bit locked in there. Just until this barracks finishes up, it's a bit of a weird position. Next tank might get locked in as well. It was important to have something on the low ground though, because otherwise this little bit of a push would deal a lot of damage. So nice to see the tank does get kind of released. Definitely is needed. Stalker's grabbing a Marine that sees this, a little bit of an attack setting up. Cyclones will then set up towards the center. There's the factory lifting. Barracks will go to a tech lab. This Rax will lift up and land. The tank escapes away, and it looks like it'll be reacted factory. Means we're going to be seeing a bit of a Widowmine play as a follow-up now as the barracks land on the tech lab here. Means combat shields can start. And again, for the moment, TaeJa is just looking to set up relatively safely at the moment. Nothing too risky, nothing too crazy from him. just getting up, set up very safely. As we see the Forge dropping down from PartinG in the back of the natural expansion at third base, coming up to being about halfway done as well. And again, that Nexus just coming through with a Forge, going to be finishing very shortly. And as we see Stasis Ward and all sorts being set up, I mean, PartinG's just going up to 3 bases though, so TaeJa has to have something of a plan. Looks like his plan is going to be, oh no, he's going to lose Stim. I'm pretty sure that was not part of the plan. As the Stalkers just blink in and Stim will go down. But yeah, extra barracks coming up here is going to allow him to go in towards a big 2-base attack, but without Stim, that's not going to be very fun. So, well, he's actually going to already get rid of the bunker. Oh my god, he's going to lose combat shields as well. Yeah, these Stalkers blinking in, denying upgrades. How often is it going to happen? I mean, when do we start seeing really Terran players only ever building tech labs over in this part of their base? Because the amount of times we see Stim and other tech lab upgrades being cancelled by attacks like this is really kind of insane. Nice lift up on the Cyclone, saves it from those Stalkers, and they have to dive pretty deep to get that far in anyways. As we are going to be seeing the Bio continue to press forwards. I mean, the Bio's traded pretty well though, I have to say. Like, a lot of these Stalkers going down. It's just the issue of at what point is these Stalkers going to start trading way too well. 6 extra gates coming up. So PartinG's going to have a lot of warpins very shortly here. Charge is about to be done too, and again, we're playing with no Stim, no combat shield Bio units. They're not exactly the best units we've ever seen, right? Like, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all, this set of units from TaeJa. And as we see these 2 tanks slowly trying to press forwards, the Phoenix will go down. Cyclone lock-on is good there. Again, the Widowmines keep on pressing through the top side. And here come the boys, the SCVs. I mean, we're a minute away from Stim finishing still, so we still need to see that coming up. Because TaeJa, I mean, TaeJa can't wait, right? He can't just wait for Stim. He's got the SCVs here already. Zealots come charging in. The SCVs try and body block. As we do see a couple of Widowmines burrowing up. Maybe a bit too late. I think TaeJa might be okay anyways, man. He's got so much Bio left over here, although more Zealots are warping in, remember? Tanks will siege up now. The Widowmines didn't go off yet either. Combat shield's complete. The third Nexus in a lot of trouble. I just love how badass TaeJa is. It's just like, oh, you wanna kill my Stim? Cool. I don't even need Stim to kill you, buddy. How about that, eh? What's your opinion on that, PartinG? I mean, it's one of those situations where PartinG maybe just lost a little bit too much setting up into this. We see those Widowmines will burrow up, and those probes, Zealots, will take a lot of hits. Stim is a few seconds away. I mean, this has been a hell of a push from TaeJa without Stim. Imagine the Stim pack coming through now. It's going to get pretty messy. As we're going to be seeing, PartinG will be in a lot of trouble. Tank, Waddle, goes down. TaeJa takes it, and we are going to get a 4th game in this series. Finally guts to Stim his units at the very last. Let's do this. Bottom right-hand side, our blue Protoss player. We have got still on match point. Only now it's a 2-1 score line. This is PartinG. Top left, our red Terran player from Team Liquid. We've got TaeJa. Parasite, a rather large map, going to be a bit more difficult to SCV pull on, going to be a little bit more difficult to hit any sort of aggressive attack on, really. As you see that probe coming around over to the right-hand side. It is going to end up going up the right to have a nice little scout up there, see what is indeed currently happening. Probe comes all the way across and ends up going up in towards the main. Again, having a little bit of a poke around, seeing what's up. There's SCV coming down at the bottom side of the map as well. Does the winner of this match go to IEM? No, the winner of this match goes to the 2nd stage of the qualifier tomorrow, where they will try to qualify. Top 2 players tomorrow will qualify for IEM Katowice. So that is what this qualifier is for. Again, this is stage 1, tomorrow is stage 2. Very, very exciting. As you see that depth being chrono boosted out. It's going to be popping soon as TaeJa continues to run away away from the natural on the way up towards the upper left-hand side. Factory is about halfway done here as TaeJa is getting this set to go. PartinG just chilling out with his probe to the left, maybe for a scout at a later point. Maybe just wants to come in and put down some sort of a proxy pylon. Possibility as the Twilight Council sets up in the main. Reaper, a little bit of an annoyance here. Doesn't do much though. There's that Adept coming across. There isn't anything in position immediately to deal with this as we do see this SCV. Yeah, I think we'll finish the CC in time. 1 shot, 2 shots. Oh my god, the SCV wasn't 1-shottable, 2-shottable, wasn't 3-shottable, sorry. Had already taken some damage. Oh, it was so close as well. This next SCV, he's already lost 2 SCVs trying to finish this. Oh my god, he's going to lose another one. 1 Adept kills 3 SCVs as TaeJa still can't finish his expansion. Just will be able to. Just able to right there. Pylon drops down on the left-hand side as Blink starts. I mean, are we going to see like a proxied gateway? Really get a lot of Stalker warpings going and apply a lot of pressure? Because that feels like what we probably see here. That's what I'm feeling like with that Pylon coming up. A couple of Marines pressing forwards, trying to fight the Stalker. We'll get high ground in a second, and obviously PartinG just won't go back up there while his Stalker is damaged, so he knows he can't fight up that ramp into the lack of high ground vision. Some Marines of TaeJa coming down in towards the natural as we are going to be seeing that hallucinated Phoenix heading up towards the upper left-hand side. Raven on the way out right now from TaeJa. Just going to be seeing a Cyclone able to pick off that hallucination. So hallucinated Phoenix goes down. And we've seen that command center getting dropped down here as well. So again, setting this up at the moment. We see the Raven currently on the way out is going to be finishing in a few moments time. And again, a couple extra gates coming up. The Blink getting started as well from PartinG. All just getting set to go. Siege tank going to be about halfway done there too. As the Rex flies up to the tech lab, we'll drop down and we'll be able to start up that stim. I mean, 1 gateway was built to the left side. In the end, we haven't seen much from that though. It is 4 gates, so it is still a bit more aggressive than usual. Usually you see kind of 3 gates. You go towards a 3rd nexus or, you know, extra tech choices. Marine is actually picked off here, trying to come over this side. TaeJa doesn't see much yet. Then just saw the Stalkers, which is still, you know, a sign Stalkers are here, right? Tank sieges up in the main base. There's a Raven, the Cyclone, a couple of Marines are going to be hanging out as well. Obviously here on Parasite, much more difficult to come in and just blink, take down Stim. As you see, the Stalker's going to come in right now, but I mean, auto turrets, tank fire. Honestly, a few Stalkers going down. Oh my god, he blinks again. I guess there isn't really that much left over. Another tank pops out, but he's stuck on the racks, which he'll just cancel to get the tank through. And just types out GG. TaeJa leaves the game.